Hello learners, you are welcome to Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. I am Abiona Kamaldin, your mathematics tutor. Today, we'll be looking at modular arithmetics.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
Okay, so for today, we look at some objectives. So at the end of this class, you should be able to give examples of events that involves modular arithmetic. Number two, we should be able to obtain numbers that are congruent to any given number in a modular system. Number three, we should be able to perform addition and subtraction in modular arithmetics. So for this class, you should be able to cover all this. So, modular arithmetics. Let's just look at the face of a wall clock as a modular arithmetics. We realize that it moves around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and after 12, we should have 13 o'clock. But we move to what? 1, 2, and so on. In fact, we have up to 24. You know, when we get to 24, it also moves to 25. But instead of 25, it also goes back to 1 o'clock. So in that case, we are talking about modular arithmetics. 24, and so on. So in this case, we realize that 13 is what? 1 plus some multiples of 12. And 38 is the same as what? 2 plus some multiples of 12. Because by the time, instead of getting to 38, it will give us 2. So alternatively, we say that what? The remainder, when you divide 13 by 12, is what? Is 1. The remainder, when you divide 38 divided by 12, you realize that it will give us 3. Remainder, 2. So at every point, it will go into, instead of 38, it will go back to what? 2. If it is 39, it will go to 3, 40, 4, and so on. So that is what we mean by modular arithmetics. So it's a system of grouping numbers. The way of grouping numbers into their what? Congruent classes. So you can see now 13. When it is 13 o'clock, it's same thing as 1. When it is 25 o'clock, it will point to 1. When it is 37 o'clock, it will point to 1. 49, 1, and so on. So we realize that 1, 13, 25, 37, 49, they are all the same thing. They belong toward the same equivalent class, a class that we refer to all of them as what? 1. The same thing to 2. You know, after 12, 13 will be 1, 14 will also be 2. The same thing 24, 25 will be 1, 26 will be 2. So we have 2, 14, 26, 38, 50, and so on. They also belong to the same congruent class, and that we refer to that as what? Equivalent class of 2. So we all name them 2. Now, so let's go back to that, the face of the clock. We realize that what? We label it 1 to 12. But mathematicians, we don't want to call it 1 to 12. Instead, we refer to them as what? It's 0. We start from 0 to what? To 11. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we use it 0 to 11 instead. We don't need to think of 12 alone. Yes, we can also have 7, just like we have the days of the week. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we can just depict 0 to represent what? Sunday, then 1 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So that is, so it means in the days of the week, we have named them as what? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Even if you have 40 days, you group all the 40 days to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on and so forth. So that is what we mean by modular arithmetics. So we can also have some other examples, like in some cities. We have, they say, the markets are open on every 3 days. In some cities, they say every 4 days, every 5 days. And then our mothers, our fathers, they will still be able to calculate when will be the next market days. So that's also an example of what modular arithmetic is. Every 3 days, it means modulo 3. Every 4 days, it means modulo 4, and so on and so forth. So that is what we mean by that. So we have some examples here. Example 1. Today is Tuesday. It said, what day of the week is the next 50 days? So how do we do that? Just like I told you, in days of the week, we have 7 days. After the 7 days, we go back to Monday again. After 7 days, we go back to Monday. So we realize that let's look for the multiples of 7 that is close to 50. And the multiple of 7, that is 49. 49 is also another multiple of. So if you are starting from Tuesday, it means the next 49 days. The next 7 days is what? Tuesday. The next 14 days is Tuesday. The next 21 days is what? Tuesday, because they all belong to multiples of 7. So, and the next 49 days will also be Tuesday. And after 49 is 50. So it means we are adding just 1 day to Tuesday. So the answer for that will be on Wednesday. So the next 50 days, if today is Tuesday, the next 50 days is on Wednesday. Okay, let's take another example. Say the shorter hand of a clock points to 10. So when we have a clock, the shorter hand points to 10. What number did it point to 29 hours ago? You see that? It means we assume that we'll go back. So we'll go back 29. So in that case too, you also maintain the same thing. We are going back every 12 hours. We go back to the point we are. So if it is at point 10, let me draw that. Yes. So this is 12, our clock. This is 12. And this is 6, this is 3, and this is 9. Okay, so 10 should be somewhere here, 10, 11, and so on. That's just what we need. So in this case, it points to what? 10. They said in the next 29 hours ago. So it means we are going to reverse it. We reverse it. You know, it's coming like this. So we reverse for every 12, it will come back to this. So for the first 12, it will come back to this. The next 12, which is 24 hours ago, it will also come back to this. So 24, we have got to 24. So if you have 24, it means this is 25, this is 26, this is 27, this is 28, and this one here is what? 29. So it means in that case, it will be what? At 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. So that is at that particular time. Okay, so let's move. We have some questions here, which we also use as example of what we have been talking about. So it says find the simplest form of the following. Minus 5 modulo 6. So this is the standard way of writing it. Minus 5 modulo 6. We have minus 17 modulo 10, 50 modulo 4, 52 modulo 11. So how do we do that? So the first one, minus 5 modulo 6. What you have to just do here is add multiples of 6 to whatever you have. So which one will give you the simplest form? All right, so let's pick the first one. Minus 5 plus 6. That will give us what? 1. So we have got a number that is less than 6. Because when we say modulo 6, it means we need numbers between 0 and 5. Just like we have done in the other example. When we get to 6, it will turn back to 0. 7, it will be 1, and so on. So this is now 1. So the first answer is 1. The second one, minus 17 modulo 10. We also had the multiples of what? 10. Multiples of 10, because we are in modulo 10. Add multiples of 10. So what do we do? Minus 17 plus 10 will still give us minus, so minus 7. So you can't stop there. You go next, minus 17. The next multiple of 10 is what? 20. minus 17 plus 20 will give us 3. So it means the answer to this is 3. The next one, 50 modulo 4. How do we do that? Can you imagine what do we do? This is a positive number. So in a positive number, what do? We just subtract the multiple of 4, because this is modulo 4. So now I don't need to continue to subtract 4, 8. I will just look at what's the multiple of 4 that is close to 50. And what will come to your mind? Yes, 48. Yes. So I just need to say 48, 50 minus 48. And that is what? 2 modulo 4. So the answer to that is 2. The next one, 52 modulo 11. You also subtract multiples of 11. So what is the multiples of 11 that is close to 52? And that is 44. Let's see. 52 minus 44. 52 minus 44 will give us what? You can see as simple as possible. So that are the way in which you can approach questions on modular arithmetics. So the next one, let's so we now have addition and subtraction in modular arithmetics. If you can add and subtract in other numbers, in other system of numbers, how do we add and subtract in modular arithmetics? Just like we have done the other one. See, the first questions are 65 plus 32. But the first thing is to add and subtract in modular arithmetic. We first carry out the operation involved, then we divide by the modulo if necessary. So we can do that. Look at this, 65 plus 32. If you add them together, what do we have? That is 97. 97 modulo 5. So when you divide 97 by 5, what will be the remainder? That is just the question. And the remainder should be 2. Now, but sometimes it may be so tedious that the number will become as large as possible. So how do we address that case? Okay. So in such a case, for example, 65 plus 32. If you have 65 plus 32, what do? Pick 65. Pick 65 and find the modulo. 65 modulo 5. What will it give us? 0. Because there is no remainder. Then pick 32. 32 modulo 5 is what? What will be the remainder when you divide 32 by 5? And the answer is 2. The answer to that is 2. So then we can now pick the two of them. 0 plus 2 is 2. So that is the solution to. All right. So after this, we go to practice questions. I have the following questions for you. Calculate the following in the given moduli. 42 plus 28 modulo 8. 72 plus 8 modulo 6. And 82 minus 35 modulo 3. So these 3 questions, you have 30 seconds to look at them.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
All right, you're welcome back. I hope you have gone through the questions and I hope you find them very easy. All right, so let's look at the solutions together. Yes, this is the first one. 42 plus 28 modulo 8. Yes, I hope you got that. How many of you? Wow, that's good. Yes, so the solution is 6. The next one, 72 plus 8 modulo 8. Okay, I hope you got that. So the answer to that is 2. How many of you got that? Wow, that's great. Excellent. All right, so let's look at the third one together. 82 minus 35 modulo 3. Yes, how do we do that? Just the same system, the same way we did the others. So let's look at this together. 82 minus 35 modulo 3. You don't need to subtract before you go on. So what do we do? Okay, let's pick this. 82 modulo 3. What is that? So divide 82 by 3. What will be the remainder? You know 81 is a multiple of 3. So 82 minus 81. So the answer to that is 1. All right. The next one is what? 35. 35 modulo 3. So 35, what's the remainder when you divide 35 by 3? Yes. You know 33 is a multiple of 3. So 35 minus 33 is 2. So it means the remainder should be 2. So then we can say that 1 minus 2 modulo 3. What is 1 minus 2? 1 minus 2 is minus 1. Minus 1. But we can't leave our answer as negative number. So just add 3 to it. Minus 1 plus 3, that's 2. So we have 2 modulo 3 as the answer. Yes, I hope you got that too. Wow. Bravo. Well done. So that is the end of today's class. I hope you understand that well. Thank you very much. So in our next class, let's see how we can solve problems. At the same time, divide and multiply problems under modular arithmetics.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
So for questions, comments, and observation, you can always contact us on our social media handle, which is displayed on the board. Thank you very much.
Acing your WAEC and NECO examinations has been made easy by the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education with the Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates television program. Join seasoned teachers as they take you through these core subjects: mathematics, English language, physics, chemistry, and biology, targeting the exact syllabus of WAEC and NECO. Watch Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates on this station. Learners can also connect with Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates through these social media platforms to access more educational content and give their feedback. Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Pass your examinations with flying colors.